Hello everybody. I am MP Rajeshwari, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, Sri Sarada College for Women Autonomous, Salem 16. Today, let us have a discussion on the topic Morals Found in the Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Let us explore the key lessons from Mark Twain's classic novel. Before getting into the topic, let us have a brief discussion on the author of the novel, Mark Twain. Mark Twain, whose real name was Samuel Langhorne Clemens, was born on November 30th, 1835 in Florida, Missouri. He is one of America's most famous and influential writers, best known for his novels, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer and Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. His life and works reflect his keen observations of human nature, his wit, and his deep understanding of American society. In his youth, Twain worked a variety of jobs, including as a printer's apprentice and a typesetter. He also worked as a steamboat pilot on the Mississippi River, a job that would significantly influence his later writing. It was during this period that he adopted the pen name Mark Twain. After the Civil War, Twain moved to the West, working as a miner and journalist. He began writing humorous sketches and articles for newspapers, which gained him local fame. His writing career took off when he published his short story, The Notorious Jumping Frog of Calaveras County, in 1865, which brought him national attention and led to his career as a public speaker and humorist. His major works are Twain's writing career is marked up by his sharp wit, satire, and keen observations on society, race, and human nature. His most famous works include The Adventures of Tom Sawyer, 1876, a coming-of-age novel about a young boy named Tom and his adventures in a small town along the Mississippi River. Adventures of Huckleberry Finn, 1884, often considered his masterpiece. This novel follows Huck Finn as he runs away from home and travels down the Mississippi River, dealing with themes of race, freedom, and morality. Twain also wrote The Prince and the Pauper in 1881, a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, 1889, and The Tragedy of Puds and Head Wilson, 1894, among many other works. His writings often critiqued social issues such as slavery, class disparity, and the hypocrisy of civilization. Twain also wrote The Prince and the Pauper, 1881, a Connecticut Yankee in King Arthur's Court, 1889, and The Tragedy of Puds and Head Wilson, 1894, among many other works. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain. The novel begins with Tom Sawyer living with his aunt Polly, his guardian, in the small town of St. Petersburg, Missouri, along the Mississippi River. Tom is a clever and mischievous boy who is always getting into trouble. He lives in a world of adventure and often tries to avoid school, course, and the rules of adults. One of the earliest scenes shows Tom getting in trouble with Aunt Polly for skipping school, but he cleverly manipulates other boys into whitewashing a fence for him by making the task seem more enjoyable than it actually is. Tom's best friend is Huck Finn, the town outcast who lives a rough and free life. Tom and Huck have many adventures together, but Tom also spends time with a girl named Becky Thatcher, whom he has a crush on. In his attempts to impress Becky, Tom tries to act mature and brave, but he still exhibits his mischievous side. One of the major adventures in the story occurs when Tom, Huck, and their friend Joe Harper run away to an island in the Mississippi River planning to become pirates. They enjoy their time on the island, living freely without adults, but eventually they grow homesick and return to St. Petersburg. Their return leads to one of the novel's most significant plot twists. Their disappearance has caused everyone to believe they are dead. Tom takes advantage of this by attending his own funeral, which is an eye-opening experience for him and allows him to reflect on his life. In another significant plot line, Tom and Huck witness a murder while in a graveyard. They see Injun Joe, a vengeful and violent man, murder Dr. Robinson in cold blood. Tom and Huck are terrified and swear to keep the secret, fearing John Joe will harm them if they speak out. Tom struggles with his conscience as he feels guilty about not telling the truth, but he also fears for his life. Meanwhile, Injun Joe frames another man, Muff Potter, for the crime, and the trial of Muff Potter becomes a central event in the story. Tom eventually overcomes his fear and testifies at the trial, revealing the truth about what he and Huck saw in the graveyard. This leads to Injun Joe being exposed as the murderer. However, Injun Joe manages to escape justice by fleeing town, leaving Tom and Huck in fear for their safety. In a final act of adventure, Tom and Huck find a hidden treasure in a cave while exploring the ruins of a Spanish treasure chest. The treasure is worth a fortune, and Tom and Huck are rewarded for their courage in uncovering it. Tom's life is full of excitement and adventure, but he also learns important lessons about friendship, responsibility, and the consequences of his actions. Throughout the novel, Tom's relationship with Aunt Polly deepens and he matures as he realizes the value of honesty, courage, and doing the right thing. His relationship with Becky Thatcher also develops, and the novel ends on a hopeful note with Tom continuing to embrace the adventure of growing up while learning to face the challenges of life. Overall, The Adventures of Tom Sawyer is a richly layered tale about a boy's journey from childhood mischief to the first steps of maturity. The story highlights the importance of personal growth, the joys of friendship and adventure, and the value of honesty and moral integrity. The Adventures of Tom Sawyer by Mark Twain is a story filled with adventure, mischief, and valuable lessons. This presentation explores the moral lessons embedded within the novel. We shall discuss how Tom's journey leads to self-growth and the development of important virtues. In the overview of Tom's character, we see Tom is a young boy full of curiosity, energy, and a thirst for adventure. Throughout the novel, his character evolves from a mischievous child to a more responsible and mature individual. The story reflects the moral development of Tom as he learns life lessons through his experiences. The value of honesty. Honesty is an important virtue. Tom learns the importance of honesty when he confesses to his aunt about his mischief with whitewashing the fence. Lying might seem easier, but honesty often leads to better outcomes. The importance of responsibility. Growing up involves taking responsibility for one's actions. Tom takes responsibility for his actions when he returns to the village and helps find the missing treasure. Maturity and growth are reflected in taking accountability for your actions. The power of friendship. True friendship is built on trust and support. Tom and Huck Finn's friendship is tested and strengthened throughout the novel. Good friends help you through difficult times and help you become a better person. The value of hard work. Hard work and perseverance pay off. Tom works hard to get other boys to whitewash the fence by convincing them it's a privilege. Sometimes it takes creativity and hard work to get things done, and rewards often come to those who work for them. The dangers of superstition. Superstitions can lead to irrational actions. Tom and Huck's belief in the haunted house and their adventures related to treasure hunting. Superstition often leads people to make decisions based on fear or ignorance. The importance of courage. True courage involves doing the right thing even in difficult situations. Tom shows courage when he testifies in court to clear Muff Potter's name despite the risk. True bravery isn't about avoiding fear but acting with integrity in the face of it. The role of innocence and childhood. Childhood is a time for imagination, exploration, and learning. Tom's playful and imaginative behavior contrasts with the serious adult world around him. Innocence and imagination are precious aspects of childhood that help children grow and understand the world. The value of compassion and empathy. Empathy and understanding others are important. Tom shows empathy when he helps Becky Thatcher and looks out for others in the novel. Compassion towards others, especially those in need, helps build a more caring community. The concept of freedom and adventure. Freedom is an essential part of self-discovery and personal growth. Tom's adventures on the Mississippi River and his explorations help him mature and learn. Experiences and the freedom to explore shape one's character and lead to valuable lessons. Tom's journey from mischief to maturity. Growing up involves moving from mischief to understanding the consequences of one's actions. Tom starts as a troublemaker, but by the end of the book, he has a more mature outlook on life. Personal growth often comes through learning from mistakes and taking responsibility. So let us conclude by saying that The Adventures of Tom Sawyer offers a rich exploration of moral lessons. Key morals include the importance of honesty, responsibility, friendship, hard work, and bravery. Tom's character development shows how a boy matures through the challenges he faces and the lessons he learns along the way.